Watch who?
Hello.
And welcome to 2 Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
And I am 76 years old.
Oh, you look great for it as well, Mark.
You know, I feel 76. I looked up when the bins were being collected earlier.
Right. Here we go.
No, that's it.
That's your story. You looked at when the bins were and it made you feel 76 years old.
Yeah.
That's your story.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody. We are watching our way through Series 3 of Doctor Who. We should just mention, Sarah, you are on your... What are you on?
Yeah. I left my laptop in work and I'm ill. So I went to work and they went, just leave. You are not well. So I did. And in leaving, I just left my laptop and everything behind. I've been home for 2 days. I sat down to record with Mark and I was like, oh yeah, I have no laptop. So I'm back on my tablet that I had when we recorded when I was in the hotel. So it's the same sort of sound. So I apologise, but it's literally all I have.
That's fine. That's all right. I'll hopefully have done some editing magic on your voice.
He'll sort it out in the edit. Classic Mark line.
Well, actually, before we start today's story, the Lazarus experiment, well, I met a couple of listeners over the weekend.
Lovely.
So I just want to say hi to one of our patrons, actually, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi. Great to meet you. And also, listener Matt has offered to set up a Ross search task force.
Oh my God.
And it was like, how can we help? And then there was a whole discussion.
I have great concern.
There's a lot of people invested in finding Ross.
I'm worried for Ross.
At the moment, there are no leads, but I'm just going to say that file is still open then. Fine, we'll keep the file open. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I could just start randomly emailing just emails and putting his name in it in all different versions just to see.
No. Well, if you get scammed, Mark, you are a prime person to be scammed.
I'm not going to get scammed by Ross.
Yeah, Mark. Well, you don't know because what if someone replies pretending to be Ross and actually it's some like random person trying to scam you?
Well, we're not even that far yet, so I will keep trying. I'll try some other leads for Ross. Not sure what that is right now, but let's make 2026 the year we meet Ross.
The year of Ross. Poor Ross.
Oh, and also, guess what? Okay. So, listener Christy, I was not expecting this. Christy has started watching Neighbours from the beginning.
Oh, from the very beginning.
And she's in America as well, so it's not like it's
started.
So they're still on Prime. So I think she's watching them on Prime. Keep us updated, Christy. You could be our new Neighbours correspondent. Actually, Christy, if you do need some episodes, I know somebody who might be able to help you out. If you want me to send you Neighbours VHS guys details, please.
Oh my God. Let's not spread that around. No,
we better not. But no, that was very impressive. That's very impressive. If you start right from the beginning, I haven't even watched I've watched from the beginning, but there's like gaps in my watching, sort of early 90s, late 80s. So just because you can't track down all the episodes unless you're a Neighbours VHS guy, they're not all out there, unfortunately. So yeah, if you need some episodes, Christy, let me know.
Well, was it you I was telling? I can't remember that all of Coronation Street is now on Disney.
I had that down. It started, on Disney Plus, Coronation Street, every week from now on.
It goes back like 60 odd years. So if you wanted to, you could go back and start Coronation Street, which is wild.
Well, Christy does also watch Coronation Street in Emmerdale as well, so that might be even easier for people around the world. I have never seen either. Maybe I should try. Maybe I should try. We should do like a swap. Christy, tell me a Coronation Street or Emmerdale episode to watch, and I'll track it down.
I told you I was watching the Sarah Platt pregnancy story, which was like 20 years ago. Well, not 20 years ago, but about 15 years ago now. She was 13, and I must have been about 11 or 12 when that was on TV.
Okay, well there we are. That's all the news for this week. Actually, there was one thing that I forgot to mention last week when we did the Daleks and talking about Andrew Garfield. So Andrew Garfield, the last thing I saw him in was that film with Julia Roberts that came out. Was it end of last year? I think. I went on my Tesco Club Card Tuesday to watch it. I can't remember what it's called, where she's that university lecturer and he's like a lecturer that like assaults one of the students or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you mean.
So very different to playing Frank in Doctor Who. But I was just wondering, so if he was sitting down with Julia Roberts to make that film and he was like, oh, guess what? I used to work with the Daleks. Do you know what Julia Roberts could say? She could be like, oh, the Daleks. My brother played the Master. I forgot, that's Eric Roberts. He's in the TV movie, The American Master. That's Julia Roberts' brother. So so they could have sat down and swapped Doctor Who. I mean, I don't know. It depends if Julia Roberts watches her brother's stuff, but they've got a connection there.
There we go. I clocked that.
Yeah, Julia Roberts probably knows about Doctor Who.
I just watched Tick, Tick, Boom again last night. Which is on Netflix, and it's probably one of my favourite films. If you've not watched it, watch it.
What is it?
It's about the life of Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent. It's a musical film. It's a show he did, Tick, Tick, Boom. It was like a monologue show he did about his life, and then after he died, it got turned into a 3-person thing, and it's got made into a film. So it's kind of like an adaptation of all that. But Lin-Manuel Miranda is the director of it. Andrew Garfield's in it. And I honestly think it's Andrew Garfield's best work. He's incredible in it. He learned to play the piano for it and he learned to sing for it. It's a story about, he's a playwright, a composer, sorry, who goes on to do Rent. But this is before he does Rent. He's doing another piece before that. It's like the week before he turns 30, and he talks about this constant feeling of this ticking and time's running out. And I think we all had that feeling of oh my gosh, I'm going to be 30. Like whenever we come to a big birthday, oh my gosh, I'm going to be this age. What have I done? What am I doing? All that sort of stuff. And as you get to the next milestone, you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. But that 30 one's always a big one, isn't it? I think we've all had that. I remember mine was in lockdown. What am I doing? What will be, and so it's about that. And he is living in New York with his friend in this apartment. And it's like, I don't know, it just reminds me of when I was living with friends and stuff like that. And that sort of time in your life of that, when you're living in cheap places and it's all run down and things like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I lived in that. It's just great. But it's set during the AIDS crisis as well. It's great. It's definitely worth watching. It's like I say, it's a sort of a celebration of life. So I watched it again last night. I probably watch it at least once a year.
Well, and fitting that theme of milestone birthdays and stuff, Professor Lazarus, it's set this week.
He's also having a milestone birthday, isn't he?
Well, I'm not sure if it's actually his birthday. Well, of sorts. Well, let's say it's his birthday. This all happened on Professor Lazarus's birthday.
He's having a celebration of life.
He is, yes.
Mark, I'm going to have to run to the loo quickly. It's all the drugs I'm having. It's absolutely...
Oh.
Sorry, I'm having bear with me.
Okay. Oh dear.
Did he say he was going to change what it means to be human?
I'm going to perform a miracle.
He acted to his own genes.
But they're still mutating.
Science trying to change it.
Change into what?
I am 76 years old and I am reborn!
Doctor Who, Saturday at 7 on BBC One.
Sorry, I thought I was going to be sick, but I just coughed a lot. Right.
So last week we had the Doctor and Martha in New York, and this week, finally, he brings Martha home. And it is literally the day after they went. So that night before was all that party and everything that her family argued and everything. And he brings her right back to the flat. And there wasn't any discussion, was there, last time? And he's obviously just like, I've given you your trips. and there they land. And obviously Martha's like not expecting that necessarily. I mean, one, she's got that washing ready to get changed into finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a bit upset to begin with.
Like, I think, like, she's sort of like, oh, I think she's sort of surprised, as in, like, how quick it is cut short. They put on the news, watch that, and then he comes back. But I think she's sort of surprised that, like, oh, he was serious, that is actually happening. It's a very sort of doctor thing to do, though, isn't it? I had a moment of like, oh, yeah, we're here, dickhead doctor. But then another side of me was like, but he did say.
He did say, and she sort of, I don't know, she's like expecting a kiss or something at the end, isn't she? Like, she's like, all right, see you then, kind of thing. Actually, it reminds me, so they've been, this weekend just gone, is a big American Doctor Who convention, Gallifrey, which is like the big one, in an airport, well, near an airport in LA or something, where everyone's there. So Freema Agyeman was there. And it reminded me, she did a talk, but also she said this before, that she wasn't that keen on the unrequited love thing necessarily. It was more Rossi Davis was pushing that quite a bit, and I don't think she was a fan of it particularly so much.
I can see that. I mean, I just don't think it's needed.
We get away from that. So there's that first thing, but we go straight into the story. And the Doctor stays. They both get changed. This is close watch. The Doctor has a different outfit as well. I like it when they have like different things like that, where it's not just the normal costume. It does make a change because it's a black tie event outside Cardiff Museum in real life. It's supposed to be in London.
Outside Cardiff Museum into the centre.
Yes. So the outside, those pillars, is Cardiff Museum, and then the inside, or the reception, is, what is it? The Welsh Government building, which is down the base.
Yeah.
So they're really far away from each other. And then I think the labs are Cardiff University and stuff. So there's like 3 different locations that are supposed to be the one. And I think when they're on the roof, actually, I know that might not be London. I don't know. But there's a lot of different locations trying to be one place. And it's through Tish, Martha's sister. So we've got all her family back. This always happens, doesn't it? Back down to earth. We've got mum and brother there as well. I mean, that family, they've only just had that party last night, and now they're all out again.
Big party family. But then there's a lot of them, they're all that sort of age where they've got jobs, and there's time when, you know, they're all out doing things. They're living in London, high-flying jobs.
Yeah, and Professor Lazarus is played by Mark Gatiss.
Yes. So I didn't spot that in the trailer, but as soon as he stepped out, I spotted it was Mark Gatiss straight away.
So it's Mark Gatiss in aged makeup. And I suppose at the time, I'm not a fan of all that aged makeup. They do it a lot in Doctor Who. I don't know. It never 100% works for me. Maybe because you already know that it is makeup. I don't know. But there's something about it where it's just like, it still looks like a mask to me. It's like they are in makeup. It's never convinced me to do it that way.
No, but I guess there's no way around it.
I mean, that's 20 years old as well. It's probably even more realistic nowadays, because there's all those theories that like Joe Biden and stuff was wearing one of those.
Yeah.
They could totally Joe Biden it now, and it'll be a bit more realistic. But when you're trying to make someone up old, I don't know. It just, maybe for the budget they've got, it's very good. And at the time, I'm sure it was absolutely fine. But there's always something like, you just know that they're in old makeup. That's just me.
Yeah.
And we last saw Mark Gatiss in Liz Shaw Investigates in Probe. So now, I mean, obviously he's written for the new series as well, but now his dream has come true. He played all those weird characters in Probe, and now finally he gets to actually be in Doctor Who, and he is loving it. He is loving playing a villain in Doctor Who. He has grown up watching all those over-the-top villains in like Tom Baker's time, and he's like, this is my chance.
Well, I did think, actually, watching it, I was like, he's probably one of the only actors I can think of that would be this comfortable being completely naked.
Well, he got his bum out in Probe, remember? He was that bum one. He's already done it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I remember. That's what I mean. So I was like, he'll be absolutely fine with it. So he's had his bum out quite a few times in this. I think he'd be comfortable being in the makeup and all that. The sort of bigness of that. I can't think of many actors main actors at that time that probably would have been happy to go old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what you're asking is for them to be aged up. and look completely different. I think there's a difference to wearing a costume, whereas like the woman the other week when she looked like an what was that? The one that you think's a great costume, and I was like, I think that's a terrible one.
Oh, the Rachnos.
Yeah, I think that's different because you look like a creature. This is asking someone to age up, and I can't think of many actors that would be happy to be aged up.
Well, it is only for half the episode as well, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like he's going
They're
for he's
aged up and they are naked.
aged up and naked. That's what we need for this role.
And I just feel like Mark Gatiss is he's so excited to be that he's just open to what that is. Would you not agree?
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. Like I say, he's done it in Probe. He had his bum and sucked everyone up in Probe with Liz. So yeah, it's and I think he's just happy to be in Doctor Who as well. And we have his wife as well, who is very well known for being in Coronation Street. That actress, but I can't.
Yeah.
remember.
I was trying to think his real. I was like, what? No, you mean the wife then? Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh yeah, that's his wife. And then the way they were talking, I was like, is it his wife? But then they talked again, and I think it is supposed to be his wife, Lady Thor, the character. So this whole thing, it's very modern Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? So he goes into the machine. He's going to reverse the aging process. He comes out as current age Mark Gatiss. That's the basic story, and obviously it's not going to work out as planned. I love the setup, though, of that reception. Love the canapes going round. Nice setup in there. You wouldn't tell that was a Welsh Government building.
Oh, no. It looks great.
It looks really good. It's perfect setting for that. We get the Doctor meeting Martha's mum in that as well, and she's been a bit different. Well, actually, no, because Jackie's hit the Doctor before as well. She's very suspicious. It's all a bit funny.
He says, why is it always the mothers, doesn't he?
Yeah, and we've got a bit of a B plot going on that starts at the drinks reception, because there's a guy that comes up to Martha's mum and is like, do you know who the Doctor is? And starts whispering in her ear. So there's that all going on as well. And we have this, don't we? Like, don't trust the Doctor, he's bad news. We sort of had that with Rose, didn't we? And Jackie a bit in the new series. And a little bit with Donna's mum as well, but she wasn't as involved really, was she? She was just a bit like, what's going on? But it's the sort of same old themes there. And obviously Martha is going to go and follow the Doctor wherever he goes and help out and everything. Actually, just going back to the canapes. Have I told this story before? Doing canapes at an event?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you, because there was, I don't think you would have, if you were there, you'd be doing canapes as well. I don't remember you being there. So it must have been a day when you weren't there. But there was an event going, like a daytime conference. And obviously, Mad Hatters, the caterers, didn't have enough people to help hand out the canapes. So we all got sent down to be like, right, you all got to take a couple of trays of canapes and start handing it out. And I was like, okay. And then literally in minutes, and they were like, right, this plate's this, and this, and this. If people ask, I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I have no idea what any of these things are. And they were like, go. And I got really, on one of them, I still get these two mixed up. One was Taramul Salata.
Taramul Salata, yeah.
It was Taramul Salata, which is like fish paste stuff, right?
Yeah.
Except in my mind, I kept thinking it was Taramul Salou. And then everyone kept asking me, like, other stuff, like, what's that? I was like, it's Taramul Salou. And we'll go around. So we told everyone that Taramul Salata was Taramul Salou. And they're both the most annoying names for canapé things. One is a fish thing, one is like a chocolate dessert thing, right? I've never had either, and I'm not keen to have either.
Actually, after this, probably not, no.
But in my mind, I just remember going around being like, I can't remember if it's Taramul Salata or Taramul Salou. I was like, just pick one. We just got to pick a name and tell everyone it's that. Oh dear. Anyway, so that reminded me. And just, sorry, the other thing, we're going into way too much detail here. At that drinks reception for Professor Lazarus, the tablecloths were quite interesting. I noticed they're round tables, but they were like double tablecloths. So there was like a long tablecloth, and then on top there was a shorter one that went down half. So it sort of had like a double, I don't know what you call it, a double thing round the side. I thought that was a clever idea. Why did we never think of that, to do double tablecloths?
It would have cost more money.
Yeah, I know, but whenever you put out tablecloths, you're always like, oh, great, there's a massive stain in the middle of that one. What are we going to do? But like, you have to sort of shuffle it round so you can see the stain somewhere. But
You know, most people, you put your long one and you put one over the top that's like a colour or to like make, but no, we just saved money left.
I think these were double red ones in Doctor Who, actually, I noticed. I think they were double
Yeah.
red. Anyway, I couldn't help notice they had double tablecloths.
Yeah.
So Tish is doing a great job organising all of those things. Maybe they served her an absolute as well. Oh, and do you know when Lazarus is upstairs, so he's talking to Lady Thor, so he's being revitalised. He's a bit of a sort of a sleaze, isn't he? Sort of going after Tish and stuff. He's all a bit that kind of character, which you would expect because he's that sort of villainy character, isn't he? Yeah. He's talking to his wife upstairs. I swear that's the same office where Sarah Jane had a confrontation in that episode with, and we were talking about, like, it looks like those pillars and the open plan office.
Maybe.
It looks exactly the same as Invasion of the Bane office. I think it is. I haven't looked that
Probably.
up. Unconfirmed, but probable, I'm going to say.
Anyway, I'll move Mark along.
When he presses the button and it all goes off and it's about to blow up and the doctor stops, there's all these like scientist women like around, sort of in glasses looking around. I was like, total missed opportunity. They should have brought back Control Unit woman from Ambassadors of Death to do that part. That would have been a good little thing for the fan. You know, Control Unit woman, and she was like, she didn't give a fuck.
I don't remember her at all.
Oh no, you don't remember Control Unit woman? Hang on, I'm going to show you a picture of Control Unit woman. It's a long time ago, but just in my mind, I was like,
Modern Who?
no, it's just like John Pertwee.
Right, you want to bring back some random woman from the past?
I just saw the scientist ladies there, and I was like, when have we had loads of lady scientists? John Pertwee's time. Bring her back.
Oh, now I remember. No, I do now. I was like, yeah, remember her now, yeah.
Okay.
Moving Mark along. We need to move past being in the dinner hall.
Okay. Well, what do you think of sort of the overall sort of theme of the episode? Because actually, I think that machine and stuff, I bet conspiracy theories coming out. I bet in real life this stuff's going on at the moment.
Well, yeah, there's always talk about like people being made younger and stuff, isn't there? And bio whatevers and stuff. This is like ongoing chat now, isn't there?
Yeah, I just think it's happening now. Professor Lazarus now. Who's that guy? Is there a documentary about him where he's like taking every single tablet ever, and he's like taking his like blood, his son's blood and stuff?
Yeah.
And doing, and that literally his whole life is just doing stuff like that.
Trying to make himself younger, yeah.
So it's a good idea. It's doing what Doctor Who always does.
Oh yeah, it does really well. It's a really simple idea, and also what's clever with it, like the Doctor says, it's not an alien. It's literally just humankind. It's a humankind story. It's us messing with ourselves. It's the ideas that we pose and how we try to change what we are or change what we do. It's a classic story. Like you say, it's a classic Doctor Who story to do.
It feels very much like this could be a John Pertwee at Unit story where Unit sends him to investigate this scientist doing a demonstration. Do you know what I mean? It's exactly like a John Pertwee story.
I mean, for me, I enjoyed it, but it feels like a B story.
Oh, it's a bit more like filler in the season now, yeah.
It's only got one main location with a few little ones building after, which is, the Senna. It all basically takes place there. There's one other location later, which we'll come to, with some other filming for the other characters, like, in the office or whatever. But it's very sort of concise in terms of filming place. It all happens quite quickly. We're pretty much from like, they drop Martha back to they're there that night. So there is no like, how we're going to get in there. What I did appreciate was we didn't have the whole Rose thing in this story.
No, apart from the beginning and the end, where Martha puts her foot down at the end, and we have a
But
little
she
bit.
doesn't bring up Rose. She goes like, she talks about like him being all that sort of stuff, but she doesn't mention Rose. She doesn't mention it to anyone else. It's more around her and him, her relationship with the Doctor. That's more, it's her and him. It's not about, and more actually to do with like his history, like him being a Time Lord, his like history of being like old, that sort of stuff, his history of like all that. So it was quite refreshing, really, not to have that be a thing. I got to the end of that and thought, thank God, we've got through a story and we've not had her name come up. I found it a little bit annoying. The mum's constant. I just found it really one-dimensional, and it's a shame because it could have been done differently. I found it, and knowing that actress, she's not that, but I found it really one-dimensional. This mum, who I could see her trying not to, but it's just the way it's been done. Her frustration that her daughter's not listening to her and wants to go off with this man, and she's not happy about it. I just didn't buy it.
Well, I think she has like that conversation like at least 3 times in this episode. Like, you don't know who he is, blah, blah, blah. But also, it's not like Martha has been going off with him and been disappearing and all this stuff. Literally, she's only met him the night before. Like, this is the first time the mum's even met him. And she's suspicious already before that guy comes and whispers in her ear. She's already like a bit like...
I just didn't buy it.
No.
I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy it as like her as a mother. I feel like she's got 3 children that all seem very independent and grown up. She's obviously brought them up to be independent and have like, she's got one daughter that's like the head of PR for this whole thing. She's got one that's training to be a doctor. She obviously wants them focused. I thought the angle could have been more like, I want you to focus on finishing being a doctor rather than who is this man? You know what I mean? Like, it could have been more on, no, you need to focus on you. I'm your mother. I care about you. Focus on you finishing your doctor rather than like, who is this man? I just don't buy that that's this mother that's brought up these children. From what we've already seen. We've already seen them at this party. We've already met this mother before. And we know that the dad's gone off like, we've already met her.
And considering from their point of view, literally the day before, Martha was taken up on the moon and came back down again and had like this huge incident. And they're not even like, are you okay after yesterday? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, they've literally seen her. Like, she's been gone for like, they saw her at the party. She left early. That I thought was like just really one-dimensional writing. And I just thought, oh, that's weak. I thought what he turned into was an odd choice. The monster.
I think that's slightly dated, that particular CGI. I think I know what they're trying to go for. They want to go for something a bit different. You don't just want like, you need to show that it's him that's transformed. So they've got that face. I mean, it's a little bit comical, but I don't
know why they turned him into like something on all fours. I thought I would have liked to think that if he was something that was a part of being human, like as in it's like a genetic thing, maybe it could have been more like ape-like. And I'm just, but it almost looks so different. I was like, it almost doesn't feel.
But I suppose maybe it had to be that because it's got to like rampage through the reception. It's got to climb up the church.
Anything could have. I mean, fucking King Kong would have done that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It could have been anything that's monstrous that like has the potential to do that. I mean, if you've removed something's changing that maybe takes you back to like your more ancestral form, I don't know, that would have been like something.
But it's a bit like the Rachnos, isn't it? The big legs and the pincers and things.
Yeah, it was. It's almost like they've used the previous CGI and just taken off the colour. It was cheap because they've made a cheap episode. And that didn't marry to what was being said. I was thinking like, he said like, oh, it's somewhere within our DNA. I was thinking, in what part of anything's DNA are we finding a beetle?
Not in a human DNA, no.
Didn't mean I didn't enjoy the story. It's not for me something that I'm like following into.
Just going back a little bit.
The writing was weak. I thought the writing was weak. There we are.
I thought it was a bit odd. So after he gets transformed and he's young and he's talking to his wife, she's like, you've done it. People are going to pay millions for this. And she's like, and I'm first in line. And that's why I question, like, is it his wife or not? Because, like, she's got to pay. That's his wife. You do it, like, right now for free. It was like, why are you waiting? You're his wife. Surely that's the first thing that you want to get sorted out. It's not, you know what I mean? That sounds weird. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no, like, it just sounded like she had to pay as an investor to have it done. It's like, no, just shove her in that machine right now and you can both walk around the party young together. But he doesn't really seem to be interested in that. And obviously she's the first.
Very impressive in that. I think as soon as she said it, I was like, I mean, you see his intentions because you see it the way that he knows what's coming. He's like, in his mind, he's already gone like 30, 40 years younger. That's why he's like flirting with the younger women. He was never going to like do anything with her.
Oh, can we just have a shout out to? I wrote down the olive lady. So there's just before the rampage happens, she's like, there's nothing dangerous here than choking on an olive.
Yeah.
Love the olive lady. And then, well, we do slightly move on to Southwark Cathedral, supposedly. So that's the big chase at the end. Yeah, it does. It suffers, doesn't it? Because there's not enough story, really. You've got all that. Maybe that's why the Martha's mum bit keeps coming in again and again, because they need to go away to something else for a little bit before they come back to the Lazarus thing, because there's nothing else. He's just going to change back and forth until they sort it out. Like,
again, I don't know why they didn't wait longer to find him. He could have changed. They could have waited longer to find him before. But they find him they find that one body and they find him straight away. He changes straight away. I think it would have been more interesting. I don't know how, but it would have been more interesting that we see he's sort of twitching and we're seeing how that plays out. We know something's going to happen and then we see it. And then working out what's going to, we see them figure, I don't know.
Well, there's that bit with Tish. So she's all stop being sleazy all over me. And then when he's young, she's like, oh, I'll come up onto the roof with you, and starts chat. And it's oh, come on, Tish. Come on. That was a bit of a change of character, a bit too quick, I think. But I don't know. He's just performed a miracle, hasn't he?
Well, again, she's probably thinking oh, rich man now, rather than sleazy old man. And she's probably taken in by the fact that he looks like this young man, because she says can I touch you and stuff, can I touch your face and stuff. She's like, whoa, can I touch you?
Can I touch your face? And you know what? This could be, if you made this even cheaper, this storyline, this script, could be one of those Liz Shaw Investigates probes quite easily. Do you know what I mean? If you had it all smaller down in one house with a few people, and you didn't have a big CGI monster, you could still tell the story as a 90s spin-off Doctor. You could have Reece Shearsmith, Liz Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Gatiss as still the mad professor. You could totally make this as a probe. It would totally fit, wouldn't it? And then, the run around in the cathedral is quite fun. And I like that Tish goes along with Martha as well. She sort of doesn't stay behind when the mum says as well. So that sort of shows she's got that loyalty to Martha as well. And she obviously has seen a lot of stuff that evening, so she's not oh, I don't believe any of this and he's going to walk away or anything. She's I like that they're together in that, and the Doctor's got to play the organ and everything, but it's just a bit of a run around. It looks good and it's impressive, but at the end of the day they're just doing another run around. They've run around in the lab and now they're running around somewhere else, but it just feels oh, we need a bit more episode just to pad it out. That's the only thing. Because there's not really, there's a little bit of a speech from Lazarus, Mark Gatiss at the end, isn't there? There's a little bit. You don't really feel sorry for the character. You're just oh, well, that's it now.
It was, I thought it was great. I thought all the actors were great. I just thought it was a bit of a weak story.
But also, the whole Martha's mum thing and the guy coming up to her is a little bit important. Is starting a new thing. I don't know if you noticed that she's like Mr. Saxon.
I noticed that, yeah, and we've had Saxon a few times now.
So I've not mentioned Saxon at all, but we've had, I definitely mentioned in the first episode, good couple of episodes already we've had some mentions. So you know that that's important. So this episode is a little bit functional in that we've got to get Martha back to her family. We've got to set up some Saxon stuff here. And now her family think that the Doctor's a dangerous person to hang around with. It serves that purpose in this episode as well. So whatever they did on Earth, whatever episode it was, she would have to come back to Earth and the mum would have to be suspicious. So it's done that. She's a bit too harsh, isn't she? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just a bit... We could have had a lighter side to her even to begin with.
I don't know why she shouted. Again, it could have been done much more which I think most parents would do if you have an adult child. I don't think most parents would be shouting on the street, I demand you don't see that person. I think most parents would hold their judgment. They'd be told something and they might tell the other sibling, like, I don't trust that man. Or something like, do you know what I mean? I think there'd be a bit more like suspicion that way, like, I don't trust that man. I've just been told this. I don't trust that man. It'd be that rather than like, don't go with him. He's dangerous. You hold your judgment a little bit before you know them.
But also, this random man at a drinks reception's just come up to you. The mum should be like, I know my daughter, thanks. Do you know what I mean? Like, she just, whatever he's whispered to her has done the job straight away. She's not even suspicious of like, why is this random person? Okay, maybe it's this Saxon character has influence or something, but sure, she's just had one whisper in her ear and then suddenly she's adamant for the whole evening. I know what they're trying to do, but yeah, maybe I know what you mean. It doesn't really work 100. It's not that believable in that way, I don't think. Brother Leo is just a bit useless and just goes along. I like it when he was like, technically it's Tish's fault, all of this, not Martha's. I like that. It's good you got that sort of other element in there, that sort of humorous element as well. So yeah, I didn't think you'd like majorly enjoy this one, but it's okay. It's by no means
I enjoyed last week's a little bit more than this week's.
There's a bit more to go on from last week's, even if it was the Daleks. Yeah, it's just mid. We're always going to have that mid thing. It's just the production of it, isn't it? There's always going to be cheaper episodes, smaller episodes.
And maybe it is just when you're watching them week after week, you do notice these things more. It's a very simple villain story, isn't it? Like, you know, this sort of evil protagonist villain who's trying to mutate to something and change the world, change what we know. It's your what is it? Your comic book villain, right? It's exactly what you get in a comic book. The concept is very simple. I think that's why it runs out of things to go, because you either have to come back to that quite a lot. That's your villain, and you come back to that storyline a lot, like you would in a comic book. But if you're doing it for an episode, that storyline runs out really quickly. You've nowhere to go. So I think the idea is lovely. I think everyone does a really good job at acting it. I think the story just isn't enough substance for it. And I think the writing's just a little bit weak to carry it through. And I think that comes down to like what the source of it is, which is just it's a really simple idea, but not enough. That's what it is for me anyway. I think like if you just watching it, like, yeah, this would be, I'm trying to think what this would be. This would be your Daleks. If this was a comic book, this would be your Daleks. And you'd have your big moment with them, and then they'd come back again. They'd come back again. You'd meet this villain, this sort of character again and again. You know, different times you'd have to, you would, wouldn't you? You know, if it was like, your Cybermen or your, what's the Dalek, what's his name? Davros. It's your Davros sort of character, isn't it? Who, you know, wants to change things, and you're like, and then they get away, and we don't see them for a while, but then they come back. It's those sorts of characters. But for like a one-time hit thing, there's not enough substance there. Someone that wants to change what humanity is. All right, he changes himself. It's not enough substance for a whole episode.
Yeah, and he doesn't live to come back, does he? Because he gets just killed at the end.
No, because then they kill him. And that's what kind of the thing, like, because the thing is, he does escape. They put him in the thing, he escapes, but they can't have him escape. He's not coming back. They have to kill him. So then we have that whole thing at the cathedral.
He's got to fall off the cathedral and be naked on the floor again.
Exactly. So we have the moment where he would shoot off, and we'd have like that 20 minutes of like leading into another story or whatever that would be, but we can't because he's not coming back. And we've had nothing else previous to set up to give time, because you have to allow time because this character has to, but that's the end of the story.
Well, at the end, Martha is like officially crew of the TARDIS and goes off with the Doctor. Now it's not just here's a quick trip. This is, you are now travelling with me. Yes, finally. Martha, it only took you like 5 episodes. That's exciting. And are you intrigued about this whole Martha's mum, Doctor's dangerous thing?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I have noticed Saxon coming up a few times. So I'm excited to see what that is.
Well, the next episode is called 42.
42, great.
We'll see what's going on. See if Martha has made herself at home in the TARDIS and found the TARDIS wardrobe and all of that. Now she's officially moved in. Yeah, that's it, really. I think that's the end of the episode. Oh, I haven't got an ending. We're going to get in the machine and get younger.
I can only hope.
Well, and hopefully you'll feel better next time we record as well and have your laptop.
Yeah. I'm going to go and blow my nose now.
Oh, do you know what I watched last night, actually, which I'm going to carry on watching tonight? The BBC's new Lord of the Flies thing. I watched the first episode. It's shot really, really well. It looks amazing.
I've heard that the acting's great, it's shot great, but the script's not as terrorizing as the original story.
See,
I really have to go and blow my nose, Mark.
Okay,
sorry.
we're going then. All right, then. See you later, everyone. Sarah's blown her nose. I'm just going to say you can find us on social media at 2What2 and at patreon.com/2What2. See you later, everyone. Say bye.
Bye.
2 Watch Who.